Hey guys, welcome back to CulePodcast. Welcome back to another video. On today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about some of Hansi Flick's words ahead of that match against Villareal tomorrow. And as well, talking about that Villareal game as well in a little bit more detail. Can Barcelona bounce back after that defeat against Monaco in midweek in the Champions League? But guys, before I get started on the video, make sure to follow me on all of my social media platforms. Everything is posted down below in the description. Go over there and check me out. That way you guys to stay up to date with everything that I do on the channel. But guys, let's get straight into the video. All right, guys, let's get straight into the video and let's look at some of Hansi Flick's words ahead of that match against Villareal. What are his thoughts? What is an analysis and everything? And this is what he has to say. We analyzed everything and saw positive aspects. It is true that we lost. We're referring to the Monaco game. We have to continue working with the same logic, and I approach the match in a positive way. They are the third highest scoring team. They are strong in defense, and we have to be focused. It is nice to see them play. We don't make excuses three-quarter of games, but we can manage it. We have to take care of the players. We have to manage this with legs. The medical team is managing it very well. We have to take care of cubarsi, Pedri, but we have to focus on recovering. Right there, he says, we do not make excuses. And Villarreal, they're going to be a tough team, guys. Barcelona, and they haven't lost to Villareal in the last 16 visits, 12 draws, 12 wins and 4 draws. The last loss was in the 27 and 28 season. Ansu Fati, funny enough, who we are going to be talking about, he is actually his favorite team to score against is Villareal, scoring 4 goals in 6 matches against them. And as Hansi Flick talked about Pedri and Marcasado, even though Marcasado he picked up a knock, both Marcasado and Pedri, who covered a lot of ground, and they were working in the gym instead of out training and everything. And that was just Barcelona trying to make sure that they're focusing on that recovery and being able to play tomorrow at 100%. And he talks about Marcelo and Pedri. He says, I think they will be able to play. Marco's not in pain and is better today. The same goes for Pedri. We have to take care of them. Let them rest. And Barcelona right now, they're going to be playing tons of football, roughly 3 games every single week for the next considerable amount of time. And so we need to rotate our players. We need to make sure our players are kept fit and everything. And Hansi Flick, he continues, he talks about our good start. He says, when you think positively, you always think that you will win every game. Good results encourage me to keep believing. I know that we lost against Monaco, and today we talked about how we defended. We did very well. Well, what we have taught the players is how to face good teams at Villareal. They all know what positions to occupy, areas to cover. When there is good connection, you play very well. And when you're winning, guys, you obviously want to keep that momentum going. You don't want to give up on everything. And hopefully Barcelona can just, pull up, just put that loss against Monaco behind us and just, recover and get back on that winning start. Hansi Flick, he talks about Eric Garcia. He says, I have spoken to Eric because I know his situation because he likes to work as a defender, but we need him as a number 6. In training, he seems to be doing very well. In Monaco, these are things that happen in life. And unfortunately, Eric Garcia, he did, take that red card, putting Barcelona down to 10 men. But, it's time to put that mistake behind us. And we're going to have to see if Hansi Flick decides to opt with the same starting 11, put Eric Garcia in that pivot role, or are we going to see something completely different? We're going to see maybe a Pablo Torre included and play that number 10, and Pedri playing in that position that he did play, in these last couple of games with Marcasado in the base of the midfield. We're gonna have to see what Hansi Flick decides. Hansi Flick, he talks about the 8 casualties, the 8 injuries that Barcelona currently do have. He says it is not the plan to recover. I am not counting on them. I am only focusing on those who can play, those who are active. De Jong is not easily injured, the same as Gavi. I am happy with his recovery, but he needs time. And regarding both of these 2 players, guys, we're most likely going to see them in October. Whether it's going to be before the international break or after, that's going to be dependent on how the club wants to manage them. Or are they doing really, really well in their recovery, or do Barcelona want to be a little bit more cautious with both of these 2 players? We're going to have to see. Hansi Flick, he talks about more signings. He says, I never think about new signings. There is a team, and we have shown that we can play well. every season, every team faces this reality. There are always absences, and we have to accept it. We have to focus on those who can play, let them give 100%. That's what I see from everyone, that they can give everything in training, that they are on the right track. And throughout this entire press conference, from what I'm hearing, guys, and what we are talking about, Hansi Flick, he's making no excuses, because right there he was asked, about the injuries from the squad, asking, about that loss against Monaco, and he said at the start, we make no excuses, we give 100%, and we keep on moving. That rhetoric is completely different to what Xavi, for example, was saying. This is not dissing Xavi or anything, but it's nice to see that regardless of the circumstances, Barcelona, they still keep their heads up high, and they still view it with a positive attitude, and they make no excuses. Hansi Flick now talks about Ansu Fati, and he says, I hope we see the best version of him. When you come back from injury, you have to adapt. We want to give him the opportunity to play, because he needs to be a starter again. He can help us a lot. And Hansi Flick, he's speaking very positively about Ansu Fati, and he's been doing this often. And as I said before, Villareal is Ansu Fati's preferred opponent, scoring 4 goals in 6 matches. And are we going to see Ansu Fati potentially get more than like 10 minutes or anything like that? I think that was more of the circumstances of the Monaco game. But I'm looking maybe at 20 to 30 minutes potentially of Ansu Fati in tomorrow's match. And that's going to be something that is super, super exciting. Hansi Flick now talks about Monaco. He says, when you lose a match, it is obviously not positive. I'm not worried about what happens outside, what the press or the fans say. You have to analyze the match and be honest with the players, regardless of whether we win or lose. You have to deal with defeats. I think it is not a question of performance. Okay. Just analyze what went wrong and just focus on fixing that. He talks about Ter Stegen, who has been receiving a lot of hate in social media, all to the point where he's had to disable his comments in his social medias on Instagram. And it's completely understandable why the Barcelona fan base is upset at Ter Stegen, because I'm one of Ter Stegen's critics. I say that this season, no, that Barcelona, his last season should have been 2019, and that Barcelona, they should not be viewing Ter Stegen as an untouchable, and they should already be looking for a replacement for Ter Stegen, something that Barcelona should have been doing for years. But abusing a player and harassing them, I don't think it's the best thing to do. But I understand the frustration from the Barcelona fan base, because this is something that is not new. This is something that Ter Stegen has been doing for years, and something that is a problem in goal. He talks about Ter Stegen, and he says it is one of Ter Stegen's strengths, not only stopping balls, but having them at his feet. It is part of our style. And this often starts with Ter Stegen. Errors are human. We have to learn. We have to analyze it. We have analyzed it. I hope I have given clear orders so that this does not happen. I hope it does not happen. And if it does happen, I want to see Hansi Flick's reaction, because some people were saying send a strong message, potentially bench Ter Stegen, bring in Iñaki Peña, bring Astralaga, 2 goalkeepers who, I wouldn't say they're better than Ter Stegen, but could give something different in goal. But to that, I say, they're just not better than Ter Stegen. And even though Ter Stegen, I view as a liability, he's still better than whatever we have. I think the mistake was not going for a goalkeeper in the summer. Going for a goalkeeper would have absolutely, I think, change the outcome of this season, potentially making it much more successful. But this is something that we're going to have to talk about at the end of the season. Did Barcelona make a mistake for not signing a goalkeeper? And hopefully that is not the case. Hansi Flick, he talks about the last piece of like his last call was in regards to Balde. He says he's an important player. He's doing well. He can improve. He is always involved. He has very good performances in attack. I love him. He has a lot of room for improvement. He is a key player. He can be part of the national team again. And something that Balde, he does have to improve is that final ball. His final delivery, his crosses and everything, and defensively as well. But I wouldn't say his defensive game is one of his weaknesses. I think Alejandro Balde is a very key player for the squad, adding so much width and speed on that left hand side. And it's completely understandable. Balde is still a very young player. He's developing. And if Alejandro Balde is able to take his game to the next level and basically improve on that debut season that he did have under Xavi, then Barcelona could be having one of the best left backs in the world. But Guys, that was a look at some of Hansi Flick's words. But let's look at Baena's words. Alex Baena, a Villareal player, because we are going to be playing them. And he did tell Goal his thoughts about Barca. He says, "It is not the Barca of a few years ago, which didn't generate as much. This team is super vertical. It puts pressure on you all the time and doesn't let you breathe." He talks about Lamine and Pedri. He says, "Pedri and Lamine are like 10-year-olds, super humble, and as football players, they are top of the world level, so world class level in Pedri and Lamine Yamal." And honestly, guys, it's going to be super exciting to see Barcelona play them more against Villarreal. Are we going to let that defeat against Monaco linger, or are we going to bounce back and just put it behind us? That I hope that is the case. And guys, score predictions for tomorrow. How do you guys think that game against Villarreal is going to go? I believe that Barcelona are going to bounce back. I trust in Hansi Flick. I trust in the team, and I'm going to put that Monaco defeat behind us. But guys, that was it for the video for today. Definitely let me know your thoughts on everything discussed on today's video. And as always, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out, guys.